Hey everybody, welcome back. MGB with you. We're going to be talking about week 8. First, let's go over what happened week 7. I had a really good week again. Alright, I told you a ton of guys, so I'm going to fly through them here. I told you to pick up and start Tim Tebow. It was looking like shitty advice at first, but he ended up getting at least 26 points for you, more depending on your league scoring. That's a win. I told you to start Jackie Battle. And it's okay. I'm gonna give myself a draw on that because he had 76 yards, so 7 points. Not terrible, but we're talking flex positions. I'm not telling you who to start your number one guy. This is all the advice on this show usually is for your flex positions, your number 3, number 2 guy. Like, honest to God, if you've got your studs and you don't start them, you don't know that you need to start certain guys, well then maybe you're an idiot. So anyway, I told you to start Nate Burleson. Yeah, it was a loss, man. He only had 1 catch, 10 passing yards too. So, but anyway, so a couple of points for him. So there's my loss. I only had 2 out of 15 things this week. So you start Brandon Marshall, get you 12 points, 6 catches, 60 some yards. That's a win. I told you to start Denver's D. They only allowed 15 points, 4 sacks, a fumble recovery. So, they had you close to 10 points or more, depending on your league scoring and depending on points allowed, what your league gives up for that. So that's a win for that. I told you to sit Matt Schaub. This was my other loss. I didn't think he was going to have a good day. He ended up scoring you like 22 to 25 points. So, yeah, that was a loss. Here's my big one. I usually don't say sit studs, but I said sit Maurice Jones-Drew. I have a win on this because he got 105 yards, but he fumbled the ball like 412 times. So in standard formats, he was getting you 6 to 8 points. For PPR leagues, still only maybe 8 points. Not good, and not what you want out of your starting running back. Like, if flex position, maybe, but I give myself a win for calling that. I said to sit all of Oakland's wide receivers. I hope you did that because it was ugly over there in Oakland, wasn't it? I said to sit the Washington defense. That's a win there. They gave up 33 points. They had 4 sacks, and that's really it. So they got you 2 or 3 points, maybe, depending on some leagues give you 0 points or negative points over 28. So you may have even gotten no points off of Washington's D. I hope you sat them like somebody told you. All right, I said to some pickups. I said pick up Montario Hardesty. 95 yards, 2 receptions, 27 yards receiving, something like that. So there's a win there. I told you to pick up and start James Jones. What was it? 4 catches, 63 yards. It's a win there. You got double-digit points out of him. I said the guy to watch was Tim Hightower, and I got a win there. Into the second quarter, he had 88 yards rushing. Damn it, he tore his ACL. What the hell's with ACLs like over the last couple of years, dude? This is retarded. I think while steroids may make your muscles bigger, I think they weaken your damn ACL tendons. Just saying. But I just want to recap the things I've been saying about the Ryan Torain, man. Everyone jumped on the Torain bandwagon after 1 game. There's 1 person in all of Fantasyland who said don't jump on it. You know who it was? It was this guy. Well, now I might have to change it. I was right, by the way. I said if Tim Hightower gets the start or the carries, start him. And still, out of your flex position, dude, he's still got you like 9 points, which you could do a lot worse. You could have done Maurice Jones-Drew. Just saying. Hightower got more points. In all formats, basically. But Hightower, man, he was their best back. Now he's gone, so now you might have to jump on the Torain bandwagon. But here's the thing: they're still going to have Roy Halou. It's not even going to be I don't even consider this running back by committee because it's like all or nothing. Like at least like say in San Diego, you got Tolbert and Matthews. They both score pretty well because they both get equal touches. Well, Shanahan likes to do this bullshit like, um, okay, well today I'm only going to give Terrain the ball. Today I'm only going to give Hightower the ball. He's going to keep doing that shit to you. So be wary of Ryan Terrain still. So I said to sit Daniel Thomas. He had 53 yards rushing. That's a win. I had a good week. And again, I'm not telling you the obvious shit and saying, hey, look, I was so smart and told you to start Arian Foster. Just saying. I was watching another fantasy show here on YouTube, and that was their type of advice. They're like, oh, here's our studs and our duds and our sleepers, and their studs were guys like Darren McFadden who got hurt. But the fact of the matter is, if you're playing fantasy football, you don't need to be told that Darren McFadden is a stud and to start him. Period. God, it just pisses me off, man. That's not the information we need. Okay. Some guys to start this week. Starting at quarterback, a few, man. I think you're starting Andy Dalton of the Bengals going against Seattle. Boom, that should be a no-brainer. I think you're going to start Christian Ponder if you need some help. He's playing Carolina. Terrible defense. Ponder looked good, not just lucky, like hitting throws. He's not like Eli Manning kind of lucky, where his receivers bail him out and he makes shitty throws and receivers bail him out. Ponder looked good. He was reading things well. Anyway, I liked Ponder and I like him against Carolina. This week, you're starting Maurice Jones-Drew against Houston. He's going to be a stud this week. He's going to hold on to the ball, I think. I think someone's going to punch him in the face for all those fumbles. You're starting Brandon Lloyd, especially if Bradford comes back. And I think you're going to start him anyway. They're going against New Orleans. And honestly, also, all of Minnesota's receivers, I think you're starting against Carolina. All the major ones anyway. Burleson, Harvin if he's healthy. Okay, starting Tennessee's defense against Indianapolis. I don't think that should be a shocker, but Tennessee's not owned or utilized or started in very many leagues. Tight end, Fred Davis. He had a great game, and I think he's going to have another one against Buffalo. It's going to be a pretty much a shootout, I think, especially now that Hightower's out in Washington. Look to Fred Davis to pick up a lot of the screen kind of short passing game slack. Here's guys you're sitting. Sit Kevin Cobb against Baltimore. Yeah, terrible matchup. I think he'll hit Fitzgerald a time or two, but I think he's going to be sacked. If you get minus points for sacks in your league for your quarterback, it's gonna get sacked 3, 4, 5 times, picked off once or twice. There's going to be fumbles, maybe him fumbling. I do think he'll throw a couple of touchdowns, but I think all the other turnovers are going to kind of negate those. Sit whoever starts at running back for Cleveland. Hardesty, who I actually like, but not this week. Hardesty or Hillis playing San Francisco is amazing run defense. Sit them. I think you're sitting Mike Wallace versus New England. One thing New England does well in the past is they decide on a guy to take out of the game, and they really take that guy out of the game. And I think Mike Wallace is going to be the guy they're going to focus on there in New England. Which means start some of the other guys. Start some of those second and third guys, Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown. Start those guys in Pittsburgh. But I just think New England's going to really focus in on Mike Wallace. All right, defense to start. To sit. Sit Minnesota's defense. They don't have a bad defense, but the Carolina Panthers are going to put up a ton of points on them, I believe. A few pickups, real quick, because things are running a little long. A few pickups for you. Michael Jenkins, only owned in like 9% of leagues. Christian Ponder, also, we talked about before, like 9% of leagues. I think, especially against Carolina, those two guys are going to have a very busy day. All right, so I came into today at 24 wins on my advice, 11 losses, 7 draws. I had a good week, so I'm up to 34 wins, 13 losses, 8 draws. That's pretty solid considering that we're just talking about the flex spots, the stuff we actually need the help with. So, tell you what, you want to talk about anything? Talk about guys? Yeah, as always, put them in here in the responses, replies. Ask me questions, whatever. We'll get into talking about anybody. So anyway, until next week, this is MGB with the best advice you're gonna get.